Alright, so today we are going to hopefully narrow down exactly what is wrong with this engine. Last video, I got a lot of comments on stuff I can try myself and try to hopefully narrow down exactly what's wrong with this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run the engine for long enough until it dies, and then I'm going to confirm that it will not start back up again. And then after that, I want to make sure the engine's not overheating. I want to make sure there's spark. I want to make sure there's fuel in the float bowl, and then I'm going to try and spray some starter fluid in the air filter box to see if it'll start back up again. They're basically just a couple things I want to try to see what, just hopefully narrow down and figure out exactly what is wrong with this. Is it getting a spark? Is it not getting enough air? Is it getting fuel? All that kind of stuff. Hopefully we can narrow this down so I can figure out how to fix this thing. Not good. That was not... Oh, what the heck happened? Oh, I hope I didn't break it. Oh, that was not good. I think it just randomly went into gear. Oh, crap. It's not the worst thing ever, I guess. I mean, I didn't have my foot on the clutch. I didn't even have my hand on this. I'm really hoping I didn't break anything. Try not stepping on the gas. Battery's dying, but that's another problem. Alright, so I just ran it, it died, it won't start back up again. The fan has been on it. I'm gonna turn the fan off and see if it'll start up. Yeah, it's not starting up. I'm gonna spray some starter fluid in there and see if that will fix it. Kind of a lot. Battery's kind of dying, so I put the charger on it. Okay, so that didn't solve it. Let's see if there's any fuel in the float bowl of the carburetor. First, let's see. Let me check. Hang on. Is it overheating? No. It's warm. The fan has been on it. I mean, I have a fan right there blowing air on this engine when it's running, so I highly doubt it's overheating. Plus, I have my hand on it, and it's basically just warm, so I highly doubt it's overheating or has to do with a heating issue. I mean, this is warm. I'm sure the muffler's pretty hot, but that's normal. Yeah, it's warm. It's definitely not overheating. Let's check to see if there's any fuel in the float bowls of the carburetors. First check this one. Yeah, there's definitely fuel in there. I don't want to dump too much out. I can't see where it is. There it is. and there's fuel in that one. So it's definitely not a fuel issue, which I think is a good sign or a bad sign. I have no idea. Next, let's see if there's a spark. Now I did just run this for, 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. And these spark plugs aren't hot at all. And I did crank it over for a good bit. So if it is a spark issue, what there should be is there should be wet, unburnt fuel on the tip of the spark plug. And it's not. It's completely dry. The spark plug is warm, but it's not hot. Let's see if it'll spark. Put it right there, facing that way. I can't see it. Is it sparking? I think it is. So we did rule some things out. We know it's not overheating. It's not an issue of there's no fuel in the float bowls. I don't think it's an issue of spark. It's not an issue of spark plug. What's happening is, one thing that was really interesting is after it wouldn't start up, when I sprayed the engine starting fluid in the air box, that wouldn't start it up. So that tells us that there's fuel in the carburetor, there's fuel in the air box, but it's just not getting into the cylinders. What could that be? That could be valves, maybe? A couple of days ago, I did buy a valve clearance gauge set for like $10 on Amazon. So it's not here yet, so what I'm going to do is once it gets here, I'm going to check the valve clearance, see how bad it is, because I haven't done that for this engine. So maybe the valves are just so off that once the engine warms up, the valves aren't opening up all the way to allow the fuel in there. I don't know. Does that make any sense? That's what I can think of. As far as what happened when I was just idling the engine and it just went into gear, I don't know what that, I think what that was the way I have the gear shifting mechanism set up, sometimes it doesn't fully go into a gear and it will, skip gears if it's not fully into a gear, if you bump the gear shifter. But I didn't have my hand on the gear shifter, so I think it just wasn't fully in neutral, and the vibration of the engine just made it skip into second gear, which, yeah, it's definitely not good for the engine, but I don't think it's going to kill it if I did it once. So I did check to see, I did put it into second gear, and then I put it in first gear, and it acted normal. So I don't think it killed it, but that definitely wasn't good for the engine. So hopefully it won't happen again. But for now, I'm just going to wait for those valve clearance gauge set to get here, and then the next thing to do is just check the valves. So yeah, I just found a major issue with this engine. I'm not sure if this is the main culprit for the engine doing the thing that it's been doing recently, but this is definitely a major issue that I need to fix really soon. So I watched a video on valve clearance and all that stuff, and in that video he said that you need a valve clearance of 0.03 to 0.08. Now, to demonstrate what is wrong with this engine, I am going to use a thickness gauge of 0.0015. This little paper-thin piece of metal, and even this won't fit underneath this. Look at this. There is absolutely no valve clearance anywhere on this whole engine. I'm no mechanic, but I'm pretty sure that that's going to cause a major issue with the way this engine's running. And because there's no valve clearance, who knows how far it's pushing the valves down. There may be like a tiny minute gap of the valves being open to just allow air and fuel, and that may be the reason it has bad compression. Hopefully I'll be able to fix this. I did Google this before I found all this out. I did research when I bought this off of Amazon, this thickness gauge, which is actually the wrong size. I did look for the thickness little shims right here to change the thickness of the gap. I couldn't find it for this engine, but I'm hopefully going to be able to find it soon. If I can't find it online, I'm going to hopefully be able to go to MR and they will find it, hopefully. But either way, I'm going to hopefully find the valve shim kit I need to fix this problem, and hopefully it will fix the problem of this engine running really poorly and not wanting to run after it's been running for more than 2 minutes. Now, I'm not sure if it's been damaging this engine running it like this, but I'm really hoping nothing internally has gone bad because there's no valve clearance. So all I can do right now is just fix this problem right here and hope that that will get this engine running properly. So hopefully by the next video of this project, I will have that shim kit and I will be hopefully fixing this. Anyway, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you for watching, subscribe, and have a nice day.